This is Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Padme. Um, this is probably the rarest, most difficult to find figure in the entire fifth wave of the Clone Wars figures. I mean, in some parts of the world, in your toy store, I'm sure there's probably a whole truckload of Padmes. But where I come from, she's very rare. I don't understand why, but it was very difficult to find this figure. And if you live where I live in Manila, and you see her, my advice is don't even think about it, just pick her up, because it's very difficult to find Padme. This is probably the best Padme I've ever seen, including the Legacy Amidala and the Build-A-Figure Legacy Collection Amidala, even the old movie figures for Amidala, for Padme. This is by far, I think, in my opinion, the best Senator Padme Amidala figure there is so far. I mean, you don't have to like her. I mean, probably a lot of you don't even like the animated, stylized design of this figure, and prefer the original movie figure. But sorry, his tiny feet, his very tiny feet. But in my opinion, I really like this figure very much. I like it the most, and as I said, she was very difficult to find, and I'm really very pleased that I got her. Okay, on to the figure. She's dressed in her usual white tights and boots, and in this case she has a cape and a hood. She was seen in this episode where she was with Jar Jar. It was such a crazy episode that Jar Jar, everyone thought Jar Jar was a Jedi, and it was a, I don't know, I didn't really enjoy watching that episode, but you know, the figures for that episode, particularly Padme and Jar Jar, are very highly detailed. I'm not getting Jar Jar because for the basic reason that I don't like Jar Jar, but I really like Padme, and she was awesome in that episode. Okay, onto the figure. The figure has two guns, and because of the size of the limbs are so thin. I mean, you can literally rip it off if you force it. You know, the legs are so thin. Well, because she's a female figure, and the hands can barely hold on to anything. I had to, in package, this gun was strapped onto her right fist, and I had to transfer that rubber band, plastic band, onto this just to let her hold the droid blaster, because her hands will not hold anything, as you can see. This gun is soft plastic, will fit into this holster. Very nice and snug. Yeah, just put it there. The holster is kept snug and stationary because it's glued right here on her behind. So it looks pretty loose that you can rotate it, but it doesn't. So there. The gun will fit up to here, so until about the muzzle. There you go. Okay. What else? So again, the droid gun. You can transfer it anywhere you want, but I feel that it fits better on this hand. Okay. Very thin figure. Probably the least articulate figure in the entire wave. We've seen Asajj Ventress. She's got a whole boatload of articulation on the feet and on the arms, but for this figure, the feet don't really do anything. They just move forward and backward, no ankle joints whatsoever or knee joints. The arms can go 360, go in and out, and just rotate on the upper part of the arm. That's it. Head is on a ball joint, and she's got waist articulation. And it's pretty okay. I mean, for a very thin figure, I don't think you really need too much articulation. Okay, the other gimmick that she has is she has a removable hood, which I think she looks better without the hood. This was how she came in. This is her traveling hood. The cape is removable, but it takes some time before you can actually remove it or put it back on, because it's very tight. And well, you can pop off the head and just take it off, but you know, I think she looks better without the hood, but with the cape on, the traveling cloak on. I mean, like that. I think she looks awesome with the cape, so I'm not taking out the cape, keeping it on. Her traveling cloak, and as you can see, The head sculpt is probably one of the best Amidalas I've ever seen. If you are picking up this figure and you see more than one, which is highly unlikely, well, I'm sure you will, but try to pick the one with the best expression, with the complete paint on the eyes, eyebrows, and lips. Because some of them, as you well know, Hasbro has been notorious for all its quality control on paint applications. And just try and pick one that has the best features. Okay. Very nice sculpt. I'm really digging this figure. She is probably one of the best figures in the line, next to the Magna Guard. If you have to get two figures, get the Magna Guard and Padme. Okay, let's just get rid of this hood for now. Very nice figure. Just even in the standing position, she's just awesome. Senator Padme Amidala. Okay, for all you Marvel fans, it's a pretty small figure. She's just, I don't think she qualifies, well, she is in the 3 3/4 scale, but she is probably 3 2/3 inches, because she has a small stature. She is a little bit taller, I think, than Ahsoka, or almost the same size as Ahsoka, because the female figures are pretty small. Here she is with Logan, comic series from X-Men Origins Wolverine. And for Transformers fans out there, who also happen to like Star Wars, just like me, here she is with Deluxe Class Classic Starscream. I mean, she barely even makes it halfway through the height of Starscream. She's like a tenth of the plastic used for Starscream. Okay, but despite all that, despite being small, I'm not a big fan of 3 3/4 figures, as I've mentioned in my Marvel 3 3/4 review. But I am a super big fan of Star Wars figures, and the size is forgivable. I really am digging this new wave of Clone Wars figures. So if you can find her, I suggest just pick her up. Don't even think about it. Quite rare in my neck of the woods, and if you live where I live, I hope you find him. So there you have it, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Padme. Thanks for watching.